Hey YouTube, so I'm gonna show you how to sew a zipper. So the first thing I'm gonna show you, I have my zipper, I have my fabric, and you're also gonna need a seam ripper. So let's begin, right? Okay, so the first thing you wanna do right now is change the stitches size. So right now it's on a 2.5, and I'm going to change it all the way to 5. And I'm going to sew my seams together, and I'm going to sew the interfaces like this, and wrong side is going to be showing. Okay? So I'm going to sew like 1/2 inch seam allowance. Do a straight stitch. Now what you could do, you could iron the seam apart. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go put on my iron real quick. Okay, so I have my iron, and I'm just gonna run it over the iron open. I know I'm ironing on the table, but it's just this part. I'm gonna try not to burn my table. I recommend you using the iron board, but for quick demonstration, I'm just gonna go over the table with my iron and iron the seam open. Okay. So after I iron my seam open, as you can see, fabric, and this is the wrong side. I am going to take my zipper and place it on the wrong side. And I'm gonna look at it, and then I'm gonna place it. Look at it like this. How I want it. I probably will want it. It depends how you want it, but I'm gonna want it covering the zipper. So one way you could do it, you could pin it. And one way you could do is pin it. The next way you could do is use tape. I prefer this, And I know it's cheating, but it's better not. The only bad thing about using the tape is gonna make your needle dull. So you don't want to do it unless you know you're not that good at it yet. But if you're really good at it, use a needle. But if you're not good at sewing on getting it perfect, then use a Scotch tape. So I'm just gonna tape the back so the zipper does not move. And like I said, use regular Scotch tape. And now I'm gonna take off my needle. If you're very experienced, you can keep the needle on. But for easy and simple way, or if you're in a rush. Some people are experienced and they don't have to use a needle. They could just sew right on it. Or, you know. But if you want nice, neat, and perfect, that's what you do. So I tape it. So now, after I finish taping my zipper, I'm gonna go back and change the setting to 2.5. And I'm gonna change my foot, of course, to a zipper foot. And you know, I want to start off on sewing it on the right, so I'm going to just change the position of the foot. Let's make sure it's secure. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to begin sewing. So I put the needle on the left side because I'm going to be sewing on the right. And you want to get it as close as possible, but you don't want to get it too close where as you're going to sew the T. But you want to get it pretty close. So put on knee. I'm going to sew. I'm going to place my needle down. I'm going to hold the zipper right here and my fabric and begin to sew. It probably would be helpful to mark on top here, but I could feel it right here where it ends. So I'm gonna walk it. Just turn the wheel on the sewing machine, and now I'm gonna go over it like this. And I'm gonna sew again. And I'm gonna back stitch it and go again. And I'm gonna turn it over. And I'm going to back stitch. And I'm going to continue to sew and hold the back part of the zipper. You could back stitch at this part, but most of the time you most likely would, you know, sew at the top of the garment. Here it is. It's not 100% perfect, but it's neat. Okay, so after I finish, I'm gonna take my seam ripper and I'm just gonna loose like here with the seam ripper. And just open it. And I don't want to rip it up too much because I don't want to mess up the fabric. Because this is kind of thin. The cotton is a thin cotton. Now, you could also base, like, you can hand stitch it too. You know, you don't have to use the sewing machine. You can hand stitch this part as well. Okay, so now we're gonna open it. Oh, let me just take off the tape. And just rip it off at the back. See? It just easily comes off. See, they just come off. That's why I say use the Scotch tape. It's better to use the Scotch tape. Just rip off. See? I'm getting them on my fingers. Okay. See how neat it looks at the back? Let me show you. See how neat it looks at the back? Another thing you could do, you could base it. You could, before you sew it, you could also base it, take a needle and hand sew the zipper on the fabric. But this is a lot quicker than hand stitching it on the fabric. And then you could sew it on. So I'm just ripping this stuff off. It just comes off. Okay. So now I'm gonna just unzip it. See? I'm just gonna unzip it like this, see? So now, and you see how neat that looks? So now you got a zipper. All right. Bye for now.